What's up guys, it's your boy Jasper back at you with another video, and this video is going to be a bit of a sore subject as I'll talk about the Henry Ruggs accident, which I'm sure you all heard by now, but the former Raiders wide receiver got into a deadly car crash in the beginning of the month, and after being behind the wheel and driving at over 3 times the legal limit, Ruggs made things even worse by driving at a speed of 156 miles per hour. Again, as you know, the crash killed a female passenger after he collided into her Toyota RAV4, leading to her car catching on fire. This mistake not only cost Ruggs his NFL career, but may cost him his freedom, as some reports say he can face up to 50 years in prison. You guys are pretty much up to date on what's going on with this case, but in today's video, I want you guys to learn about the backstory of Ruggs and how he came out of Montgomery, Alabama as a highly ranked speedster to the position he finds himself in today. Before we get started, guys, I'm currently on the road to 1,000 subs. I appreciate all the support I've been receiving. I really do appreciate it, especially on the LeBron James video. You guys really supported for that, so I appreciate that. And if you haven't checked the video out, y'all should go check it out when you get a chance. And if you can, make sure you just hit that like and subscribe button and comment down below in the comment section to let me know what topic I can cover next and who I should talk about. And again, welcome to the new subscribers. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you can find my cash tag in the description. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before I get into the accident, let's get into some background on Ruggs' life, starting from his high school days. Henry Ruggs III was born in Montgomery, Alabama on January 24th, 1999. It was evident, like most NFL players from an early age, that Ruggs had a lot of potential. Ruggs was so good, in fact, that he got the chance to play in a few games for the varsity team in 8th grade. Just think about that. To play varsity level football in the 8th grade is really hard to wrap your head around, but that's just how talented Ruggs was. He attended Robert E. Lee High School, and the crazy thing about it, Ruggs didn't even start playing football again until his junior year of high school. And the crazy thing about it is, he received his first scholarship offer after only his second game of the season. Again, just another testament to the caliber of athlete Ruggs really is. In addition to football, Ruggs was a speed track star at his high school, burning kids left and right, the same way he would on the field. His 10.58 100-meter dash time broke the Alabama High School Athletic Association's Class 7A record, and he was just killing it on the track. I mean, just absolutely killing it. And that wasn't the only sport he played. Ruggs was also a pretty good hooper and could have probably easily played D1 basketball if he took the sport a little bit more seriously. And especially since he had the bunnies, because according to Ruggs, he had a 42-inch vertical since the 11th grade. And on another side note, before I get into his career in Alabama, Ruggs credits his late great friend Roger Scott with encouraging him to play football in high school. However, tragically, his best friend, ironically enough, died in a car crash at 17 years old, which had a huge impact on Ruggs. In order to honor his late great best friend, Ruggs would always throw up a 3-finger salute after every touchdown he scored in remembrance of Scott. And the reason why he chose to put up 3 fingers is because Scott wore the number 3 while he was on the basketball team. In 2017, 247sports.com ranked Ruggs as the second best high school football player in Alabama and was a 4-star recruit, and could pretty much go to any school he wanted. Ruggs received scholarship offers from all the top dogs, but he eventually ended up committing to Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Many thought that Ruggs would head to Florida State before deciding to stay at home and play with Bama. But if you know anything about football in Alabama, you know that kids dream about going to either Alabama or Auburn. So it was just a natural fit for Ruggs, especially considering the amount of talent that has come out of Alabama in the past 10, 15 plus years. Most freshmen that are making the jump from high school to college usually take a redshirt year to get acclimated to the physicality of the college game. But when you have the talent that Ruggs possesses, you start showing out the second you step on campus. Ruggs was part of an amazing wide receiving core that included the likes of Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, and of course Ruggs, who all ended up being first-round picks, which is just insane to think about, and is really just a testament to the GOAT Nick Saban and his staff's ability to identify talent and bring them into the program. Ruggs played a major part in Alabama's 2017 national title run, even though he only accounted for 229 receiving yards, but he had 6 touchdowns. And the fact that he only had those stats on 12 catches all year, again, is just a testament to the potential this guy had. And also, to be fair to Mr. Ruggs, if you're Jalen Hurts, when you have multiple first-round wide receivers to throw it to on each side of the ball, it makes it hard to just have one go-to guy. Ruggs was able to record 46 receptions for 741 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns. Ruggs then followed up with similar numbers next season with less touchdowns but more yards per catch. And after his junior year, Ruggs thought he did enough to solidify himself as a first round pick in the NFL draft, and decided to forego his senior year. In the combine, the guy absolutely set the field on fire in Indy after running a 4.27 40-yard dash, making him the fastest guy in the combine. But just like his father Al, who was obsessed with speed, Mark Davis and John Green decided to use their first round pick on the speedy wideout. Now, Ruggs' 2020 season was fairly good considering everything that was going on in the world and in the NFL. He hauled in 26 receptions for 452 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 13 games. Again, solid numbers his rookie season with a ton of room for improvement, but you could definitely see the potential just by watching this guy play. It's also fair to add that the Raiders didn't really have a good year that year, so, in my opinion, team success is a very good indicator of individual success. In my opinion, team success has a lot to do with individual success, so this could definitely be a factor in why Ruggs' numbers were so low his rookie season. Coming into the 2021 season, Ruggs was expected to play a big part in the offense, and he pretty much did just that. In the games he played before he was eventually canned by the Oakland Raiders, Ruggs grabbed 24 receptions for 469 yards and 2 touchdowns in only 7 games. So he seemed to be finding his own in the league just based on these stats alone. I could have potentially seen Ruggs as a Deshaun Jackson type of guy whose game relies heavily on their speed to create separation, but we may never even get a chance to see Ruggs' full potential as a player. Now, this is where we get to the part y'all came here for. On November 2nd, 2021, late in the morning, the Las Vegas Police Department responded to a crash involving a Chevy Corvette and a Toyota RAV4. When first responders arrived, they found a woman in the RAV4 dead at the scene. The lady was later identified as Tina Tantor, and she also had her dog in the car, who also passed away. The cause of death was due to a massive fire that broke out following the crash, leaving Tantor unable to even get out of the car. It was later reported that Ruggs had a blood alcohol level of 0.161, which is just crazy to think that he thought it was okay to get behind the wheel. To add to the lunacy, Ruggs was speeding at over 150 miles per hour. My man thought he was Jeff Gordon in the Indy 500 or something, or Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to win another title. But not to make light of the story, he was transported to the hospital for non-serious injuries and is suspected to serve a lengthy prison sentence. And now that we touched a little bit on his backstory, that made me think, this may be a reason for his behavior that cost him his career. He may have grew up in a bad environment, which he may have, which I didn't really see when I was doing any of my research. He seemingly had both of his parents at home. It seems like Ruggs just had a lapse of judgment. And to be fair, a lot of athletes, they grow up very privileged and think they're invincible at times. Like, if you're a top athlete from middle school all the way into the pros, you're going to be treated like a god. And a lot of these guys, they have that sense of invincibility. So Ruggs may have thought, I can go ahead and get behind the wheel even though I'm 3 times over the legal limit, even though I can, call an Uber or ask one of my boys to pick me up. There's so many other ways that he could have avoided this situation. But again, hindsight is 20/20. And of course, after the accident, the Raiders promptly released him, and his NFL career seemed to be over before it even started. Ruggs wasn't hung out to dry completely, as he got some support from his former quarterback, Derek Carr, who gave a really good speech on still wanting to support Henry through a tough time, but also realizing that he deserved the consequences that he got. Another person that came to Ruggs' support was former Alabama coach Nick Saban, who again translated the same sentiments as Carr did, but again said that the roster, who a lot of those guys had played with Ruggs, being only a year or 2 removed from the school, still support Ruggs and, wish the best for him while he's dealing with this tough time in his life. In my opinion, Ruggs deserves to go to jail and be scolded for making a boneheaded decision like getting behind the wheel, driving fast, and driving drunk. When you're rich like he was, considering he was a first-round draft pick, there should be no excuse to not call an Uber, or at the very least, have someone that you know or that you're boys with drive you around. It's that simple. And Ruggs deserves any and all criticism for not doing this. Some more news recently came out that Ruggs missed a court-mandated breath test as a part of his bail, which requires him to remain sober, and he could possibly be going back to jail. According to Ruggs' lawyer, he missed a phone call to take the test, but instead tested himself, which, according to Ruggs and his lawyer, came back negative. So again, if he goes back to jail, he deserves everything that's coming to him. But I do believe in giving people second chances, and I always say this about athletes. Why even bother going to the club? Why even bother going out when you can just bring the club to you? Or Ruggs, if he wanted to just get blackout drunk, which he apparently was trying to do with a blood alcohol level that high, he kind of just passed out in the comfort of his home with no worries. Again, hindsight is absolutely 2020. My thoughts and prayers go out to the Tantor family as they're struggling with the loss of a loved one, and it's just an absolute devastating time for everyone involved. And I hope Ruggs is able to get his act together and address whatever he's dealing with and possibly try to vie for a second chance in the NFL, even though I think that ship has sailed the second he got in that accident. So that's all I have for you today, folks. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We're on the road to 1K. Again, thanks for all the new subs. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are enjoying the content. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Pound that notification bell. And I'll have a lot more for you guys in the future. And until next time, guys, peace.